everybody, and thank you for joining me today. Today, in writing, we are going to be talking about something called informative writing. And what is that, you ask? What is informative writing? Well, informative writing is a type of writing that tells facts about a topic. And I underlined this word facts right here. Facts are things that are true. No matter who you ask, it's true information about something. And then down here I wrote topic. And a topic is what a book is all about. So a topic is something that you could teach somebody. When you are writing informative writing, you are teaching somebody about a topic. Okay? And now I'm wondering, there's so many things that I could write about. How do I pick a topic? Well, I'm glad you asked. You can pick a topic by doing something called brainstorming. And when you brainstorm, that means you think of all kinds of possible things that you could write about. So when I'm brainstorming, I want to think about, since informative writing, I want to teach somebody something. So I have to think of topics that I know a lot about. Something that I'm interested in teaching people, something that I know a lot about that I'll be able to give true information about. So then I think in my head, let's say, I know a lot about pizza. I know a lot about dogs. Oh, I just learned a lot about clouds. I don't really know a lot about the sport hockey. So I wouldn't want to write about that because I couldn't teach somebody about it. But I think I'm going to pick, clouds. And I'm going to pick clouds because I've been getting a lot of information from the lessons that I've been watching all this week about clouds. And I think you have a lot of information about clouds too. Do a Me Too sign if you know a lot about clouds now. Yeah. So the first thing you do is you pick a topic. Then after you pick a topic, you need to make a plan. Before you start writing, really, really great authors, they make a plan. And when you make a plan, you write the 3 things that you're going to focus on when you are writing about your topic. So remember, I'm writing about clouds. That's the topic that I brainstormed and chose. So the first thing I want to do is write an introduction. And an introduction will tell my reader, or my audience, the people that are looking at the story, what the topic will be all about. Then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to write facts. And remember that facts are true information about a topic. I don't want to write my opinion in here. I only want to write true facts, true information. And then the very last thing you do when you're writing a story, an informational text, is you want to do a closing. And a closing is something just to wrap up the writing, say, hey, thank you for listening. I hope you learned a lot about my topic. Just so the audience or the reader knows that your informational text is coming to an end. Okay, so if you do not have writing paper at home, here is something that I did at my home, which I thought worked really, really well. I just took a regular piece of paper, like this, regular paper, and I folded it like this. Just fold it right in half. Then, when I fold it in half, I can on the top draw a picture, because everybody loves to look at pictures when they're reading, right? So I could draw a picture up here, and then I could write my information down here. So that's what I would do if you do not have any writing paper at home. You can just use a regular piece of paper, fold it in half, use half of it to write your information, and then use the other half to draw a picture. Okay. So if I'm looking back at my plan here, the first thing I wanted to do was make an introduction. And I actually already planned out my whole story for you because I want you to be able to get started super soon and write your own informational text about what you learned about clouds. So the first thing I did was I wrote my title. I said Clouds by Miss Fahey. And then down here, I wrote my introduction. I'm telling the audience, I'm telling the reader what I'm going to be talking about. sometimes I like to start with a question. Really get the readers thinking. Have you ever looked up at the sky and saw clouds? And then they're thinking, yeah, you know what? I think I did see clouds in the sky before. And then down here, I'm going to say, I'm still introducing my topic. I'm telling the reader what I'm going to be talking about. Today, I am going to teach you about those clouds that you see. So now the reader is, there's something called hooked. They're excited. They can't wait to read all about clouds just from your introduction. Okay, so I have my introduction here. Check. Then, the next part is to write facts. So remember, those facts are the true information. So I think back, I'm remembering that I learned about 3 different types of clouds. This, in the middle of your paper, is where you can write your true facts, that information about clouds that you remember from your lessons. There are 3 types of clouds. A cumulus cloud is big, puffy, and white. A cirrus cloud is thin, and a stratus cloud is flat like paper. And then up here, because informational texts usually have drawings or pictures to go with them to help the reader understand. So the cirrus cloud, I know it's really thin and stringy like this. The stratus cloud looks like big pieces of paper that are floating through the sky, and they're usually a grayish color, so I use a little gray. And then cumulus is those big puffy white ones. And I wanted to label it so my reader can really get a good idea about what the different clouds look like. Okay, so now we did step number 2 on our plan. So we wrote our introduction, our readers are excited. We wrote facts about the different types of clouds. And now the very last part is your closing. So what you're going to do is you're going to wrap up the writing, let the reader know that you had a good time telling them about clouds, and thank them for listening. So on the last page, this is my closing here. Clouds are fun to look at. Sometimes you can see shapes in clouds. When you look up at the clouds, I hope you think of all these fun facts. Then I drew a picture. People looking up at the clouds with lots of details. Okay, so then when you're all done doing that, if you use paper like me, you put the introduction first, then you put the facts in the middle. Sometimes you might have a couple pieces of paper. I could have fit like 3 more pieces of paper with my facts about clouds on here. If you have more than just 3 pieces of paper, that's okay. So you have your introduction, then you have your facts, the information you want to tell the reader, and then just something at the end, of closing with a nice picture that says, hey, thanks for listening. That's all I have about facts. I hope that you had fun, or something like that, a closing. And then you put them together like this. If you have a stapler at home, you can use a stapler, or you could just fold it like this. Sometimes I like to fold my papers like this. Fold it on the top, fold it on the bottom a little bit, and then you can just open it like this. Okay, so after you watch this video, I want to see if you can make your own plan and come up with some facts that you learned this week about clouds. Remember your introduction, write your facts, and then have a closing at the end. And next week, we're going to have a new topic, something else to write about. But your job today is to watch the video and then come up with your own informational text about clouds. Okay? All right, everybody, thanks for listening. Good luck. I can't wait to read your informational writing. Goodbye, my little authors.